I'm a Verdian with KpopWise. Today, I have the special opportunity to speak with XT. XT is a singer, songwriter, and producer from Hong Kong. She just recently released her debut EP titled Apollo-23. She also recently made her debut in the Grammys Press Play series, where she sang her song Skin. So today, I'm very excited to now chat with XT about her new music and upcoming projects. Yay! It's so nice to meet you. And for the people that aren't familiar with you, can you introduce yourself?
You actually introduced pretty well. Hi everyone, my name is XT. I'm from Hong Kong. I'm a singer-songwriter producer. And so I'm in Hong Kong right now, and I just came back from the UK, and I did a small, like a mini tour to play at some showcase festivals. I'm still a little bit jet lagged, but it took me a while to like get used to the lifestyle back in here, because I was in the UK for like around three weeks, and I love there. So yeah, it's a little about me and recent.
I'm now releasing your debut EP. So my first question is, now that your new music is out there in the world, how do you feel?
I actually asked myself like those questions before. Like I was like, oh my god, I've been writing and producing for like so long for this. I'm actually releasing song by song until this year for 3 years. So this EP is actually the songs that came out starting from June 2020, like in the middle of COVID until now. So it's to me it's a long journey, and until like this like that last weekend, like last Friday, I finally released the full EP, and I was like, wow, finally I'm here. And the day before the release, I was a little nervous. I don't know why, just like little but then after release the EP, and I have my physical album as well. I can show you later, but I have my physical album, and I didn't really like digest the emotion that I had, but like on the afternoon of Friday, I suddenly broke down. But like it's like a burst of like very like happy tears. I was thinking, wow, I've been wanting to be an artist since I was 14. I want to write my own songs, and now I'm here, and I'm here and release my physical album, and I was like, wow, finally I'm here. It's a long way. So to me, it was like a little bit nervous, but I'm very like blessed to be able to do something that I really love.
Can you share a little bit about the creative process behind your EP? Like what went into creating this album?
So when I released the first song Flower Town back in 2020, I didn't really think about, oh, I'm gonna release an EP after 3 years, and it's called Apollo-23. It didn't like I didn't plan that as like when I was there. But like after releasing my first single, second single, I think along my artist journey, because I write and produce on my own, and then I perform with the audience and stuff like that, I feel like, ooh, I'm starting to feel like I'm releasing songs that like I want to make songs that make people feel warm and feel good. And as a woman producing music as well, and actually I learned it by like I learned this kind of thing. Like I grow my own artistry along the journey of releasing music. So until I think last year, I was like, ooh, is it like maybe after releasing several singles, maybe I can compile together as an EP. And actually I purposely titled the song to be like a natural environment universe kind of thing, because I feel like this is something that inspired me so much. And when I approach the production of the songs, I use organic samples like water. I actually record using my iPhone with my babbling sound, my water tap, and make it tweak into a hi-hat and make it into like a little this kind of tiny pieces into my production. So I was like, maybe I can use like this as a concept on my debut EP. And then I was like, this year is 23, and I released Spaceship that time, and I was like, people really dig into that Spaceship, and I was like, maybe people like the way I release my music is like people jump on my spaceship and we can start a new journey. It's like a hopeful message. And I was like, maybe I can like title the song, the title of the album is like the spaceship name is Apollo, because it's the sun So I was like use it as a metaphor, kind of like I want to make people feel warm. So it's like learning like how I release the song, how people react to the song, and finally I have this kind of concept.
Went into my next question a little bit too.
Okay.
So the title of your EP, Apollo
Yeah.
23, it's kind of
Yeah.
inspired by Greek mythology and
Yeah.
space. So you explained that you arrived at that concept because you wanted to make people feel warm, like with the the sun and different nature aspects. So like, I guess what else inspired that concept, and how did you like? What was like the planning process on getting to that concept?
I think is I want to use like I'm very into sci-fi movies as well, and Apollo is also means the spaceship and also mean the Greek the myth. So I was like maybe I can put the two concepts together. And you know when I was younger, like when I was like a teenager or like middle school kid, my mom because our first language wasn't English, so my mom want me and my younger brother, to watch BBC the Blue Ocean. I don't know, I don't remember the documentary or something, but like that is like a educational, like a nature documentary stuff, like Planet Earth or something like that. And then I was really into like these kind of thing. I think that was a little bit of the concept, like plants in my knowledge or something. And then after learning music and then all the way here, and I was like, actually kind of digging into this kind of concept, and then I just put things together. Yeah.
On your EP, is there a particular song that holds a special meaning to you, and can you kind of share the story behind it?
I do. I've been like asked for this question for a while because I've been like releasing this EP along the journey for 3 years. And if I have to pick one, I actually want to pick two, okay? So I want to pick Skin and new Cantonese song that I'm gonna like I promote later. But for Skin, it's like I roll it way earlier than my artist project. So that was like pretty much the first or two songs that I wrote in a proper, more professional way when I say it. Like, but like, to me, it's like Skin is like an early journey of my catalog, and that song speaks so personal for me because it talks about my skin allergy and also my eczema, and I think this skin condition kind of shaped me into what kind of person I am right now and what kind of artist I am right now. So I'm really grateful for the journey of having eczema, because I never thought that it would be the journey can turn into a song and that could be inspire people dealing with body image issue and stuff like that. And I'm really grateful. And yeah, that's for Skin. So that's why it's a very personal song to me. So it's a very special song. But the other Cantonese pop song, it's because it's written in my own language. So I haven't been really releasing music in my own language. It's this time, I want to say maybe on this Apollo 23, I want one song that is like in my own mother tongue. So to me, it feels very like grounded as well. So yeah, these two songs would be like my pick in the album. Yeah.
Like you mentioned your Cantonese track. I think it's the title is Field of Gold, right?
Yeah.
In English.
Yeah.
So Field of Gold was sung completely in Cantonese, and it's described as kind of like an ode to your hometown of Hong Kong. So I guess my question is, how would you say your cultural background has influenced your music?
I think I'm born and raised in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is such a city that is meets west. So I think I do have like a conflict of cultural conflict as well, because we're in a city that I actually grew up like watching Disney Channel, and yeah, that's how I learned I watched Gossip Girl when I was a teenager, and that's how I learned English there. And then also I listened to a lot of Cantonese pop as well, and also I listened to Taylor Swift growing up. And yeah, to me it's like a lot of different, like very, I don't know how to say, like a mixture of culture in my childhood and growing up. And to me, like being able to speak like English and Cantonese, I think it's like the language itself helps me so much in music as well, because Cantonese has 9 vowels. So when we speak in Cantonese, it feels like singing as well. So this is how, because of the nature of the language, that helps to recognize the pitch even more. I know that's some people like in the Cantonese world, they say that like this, but I'm really grateful that I can be able to create songs in both English and Cantonese, because I feel like it's the identity for Hong Kong as a Hong Konger. So yeah, I'm really proud of like, oh, finally I can have a song in Cantonese.
Continuing on with the culture discussion, can you share your perspective on the representation of Asian artists in the music industry? And have you noticed any changes or progress over the years?
I do think there are more and more Asian artists start to like really promoting their own music and getting into the really like success and commercially and also globally, and not just for the music one, but in like cinema, movie. I really feel that Asian artists has a lot of representation nowadays, and I'm really grateful that like now we have the AAPI month, like we can have a time that dedicate to Asian artists. So I feel like as an Asian artist myself, I feel like I have more platforms to promote my music, and also I feel like I have a stronger community now. But what like 10, I don't know about 10 years ago, because that time I wasn't really doing music that time. But I feel like comparing to the data that I read, very nerdy stuff, I read data, and then I feel like I'm in a very good representation right now, because I saw like 88 Rising and more community in I'm talking about music community in like represent Asian artists, and I feel like, oh, we are building a strong community here, and feel like people are really like very stick to their own culture when they promote their own music. So I'm really grateful.
So you've been doing a lot of concerts and festivals, and you recently played your first solo headline concert. Can you share like what was your favorite moment from the experience?
So my concert was like a very intimate one in Soho House, and that was my first ever headliner show. So I had to like curate a full 2-hour concert and without any guests, and I was like, oh my god, like what I'm gonna do. And I think my favorite moment is because my artist project is not just about the music. I actually love to use other elements to complete my story, is no matter it's video or like the activities that we do in the concert. So I actually add a small element, not small element, but like a big element into a concert. And it's not, I don't think it's a traditional format, but I actually add like a 30 minutes, not meditation, but like I invited an artist that she talks about body, like how do we like feel our body. And because of the I when that time I was promoting skin, and I really want to use the concept into the audience, that they can like going to my concert, it feels like a journey. So I play a 30-minute set at the start, and then follow up by like a 30-minute journey of feeling their body by like breathing exercise. They move around, connecting with some like materials and like the activity that they have, or like feel the moment, feel the floor, where they feel grounded. They walk with energy or without energy. It's kind of the like they inspire the audience to feel the moments around them instead of just watching a concert. So to me, it's a very it's like, wow, it's a very strong moment to see my audience. They can really embrace themselves and forget their work at that time. And then I was like, wow, it's such an interesting idea as well. And see how individual audience interact their body. They also inspire me in my music as well, because everyone, when they listen to that kind of sound, for example, the water, like everyone react differently with their body. So I feel like it's very inspiring to see different people, how they react, and there's no right or wrong in that kind of space, which I feel very like safe as as an artist as well. So that was a very like my favorite moment in my concert.
I love that. I don't think I've heard of someone using like meditation and like nature sounds in their concert. I love that so
My
much.
concert was like, oh, maybe we can do something. To me, it's quite experimental because I was a little bit scared, but I feel like that activity would like speak my story even more, complete my story even more. So yeah.
My next question is, since you mentioned how you're an independent artist, so as an independent artist, have there been any challenges that you faced, and I guess how have you overcome those challenges?
That's a lot of challenges. And okay, so I think that on the good side is you have a complete freedom of the song and the story you want to speak. But on the not as good side is you have to know and to do everything on your own first. Like apart from creating your music and like as an artist, I feel like I'm more like an entrepreneur because this is my brand, right? So I have to know more about music business and even like marketing and everything, art management, this kind of stuff. It's not for like the creative side. So for me, currently the challenge is I'm releasing my CD, right? I have a physical album here, and you can imagine like when orders come in, and you have to write the message to your fans and then pack it into an envelope, and you're like there's a lot of work, but that is okay to completely. I'm really enjoying doing this, but it takes a lot of time as well. So for me the challenge is how to balance the creative work and also like the administration and management work, because to me it's like a different mindset. And sometimes when I was doing the administration stuff, oh my god, I want to write a song, just have an idea, and I really my headspace is completely doing the administration stuff, but like I feel like by that time I don't have time to squeeze time to do creative. And when I was in a creative space and I was like, oh my god, there's more orders coming in, I'm so grateful, but like when I'm gonna do that, like it's kind of like a fight between two minds. And then but this is my recent challenge as an independent artist, but I'm grateful because it means that I have the independence here, that I can like have the knowledge and then make the right decision. This is like what I'm learning as well.
Inspiration wise, like what artists and musicians inspire you, and is there any particular artist that would be, I guess, your dream collaboration?
um I was inspired by a lot of artists. If it talks about music artists, I have a long list. And because I recently went to the UK and I watched Macy Peters' show, and after watching her concert, when I was doing a shower, like right after her concert, I have a lot of lyrical idea. I think like Macy's songs really resonate a lot with like the newer generation, and the way she approached the lyrics has really inspired me. But as apart from music artists, I think like maybe there's a random painting in a gallery would inspire me, but I don't know how to see the connection there. But it's sometimes it's putting my physical like place, I don't know, like changing from the beach, not from my home studio. I just go to a different cafe. It could like inspire me differently as well. So to me it's just putting myself into different situation, and yeah, and then the lyrics will kick in. Yeah.
Next question is, do you have any advice for aspiring singer-songwriters?
Oh, wow. I don't know if I'm the right position to give any advice, but like for me, like for my journey or for my experience, I think don't overthink. So I tend to overthink. Like 3 years ago, before I start my first solo project, I tend to overthink, especially when like I know nowadays there are more and more musicians, they can do everything on their own. So like producing, writing, and it's easy to get into a headspace that feeling like, ooh, I know I can do everything, but still in each aspect I'm not doing it perfectly. But it's so hard to draw a line what is perfect and what is not. And for me, after releasing music for 3 years, I feel like also I learned it by like the whole journey, and I think the people around me just teach me as well that it's not about being perfect or not, but like to be more like genuine to yourself, be like kind to yourself. And also like if you feel like the song isn't perfect, you're never gonna release the song, so you're never gonna step forward. So to me, like for maybe like aspiring singer-songwriters or producers, just don't overthink, just do it with your gut feeling, and just if you want to improve the next track, you're gonna improve. If not, then the next track. So it's like enjoying the journey instead of focusing on the one track that you feel like is not perfect. So that's what I learned as an artist as well. So maybe it's an advice, but like, yeah, you have your own journey.
What can fans and listeners anticipate from you next?
I am actually writing another micro EP that I aim to release probably in September. And after the mini tour in the UK, I feel like I want to do more tour. So I'm actually like planning to do like an Apollo-23 tour, and I just like I really want to play shows physically because I know the world's opened up, even Hong Kong is open up finally. So yeah, I really do like hope to aim to play more gigs and like different version of songs, like different, you know, like acoustic version or like a different remixes as well. And but the new release gonna be like in September after wrapping up Apollo. So yeah, it's gonna a lot of work, but yeah, I'm so excited.
That's awesome. We're definitely looking forward to your new music and your new tours. Is there anything that you would like to talk about or mention that we didn't get to discuss in this conversation?
So here is my album. Physical album is on my Bandcamp, so it supports worldwide shipping. So this is my album with the like a small little pocket, like a bag, and then there's a really pretty. I really like the color because it's a polo. It's the sun, so it's kind of. My friend said it's like feels like Lion King, but like I think she gets the right point because it's like the sun, right? So this is the EP, and then in the album there's also a lyric sheet poster, and it's all in one album, so it looks like this. It's designed by a designer in called Deep Matte Production, so it's from Hong Kong, so it looks like this. Okay. Yeah, it's available on Bandcamp. So
you put in little CD pieces in your album.
Oh yeah.
Too.
So that was like a very experimental project. So I actually like, you know, printing as an independent artist, the challenge is sometimes it have like the CD is not like the amount is like not fit, so I have some like extra CDs, and I was like, oh my god, what I'm gonna do with this extra CD? And I was like, people like my fans are buying my CDs even without their CD player, so to them that CD is like they are not really listening to music in the CD, right? They just like go to streaming platform, and if they have CD player, they would play it. But like I doubt if they have a CD player. So I was like, I do something like bold. I just cut it into pieces, and maybe it's like a Cantonese metaphor that like it's like a mirror brick, but like when they piece it together, you can find your own like friends and brothers, siblings, that kind of metaphor. So I just use it, cut it, and then maybe the people who got different pieces can connect in the tangible world, because we are having a physical album, and maybe it can help people to connect in the physical world. So yeah, just a like idea as an artist project. Yeah,
I love that. It's so resourceful.
Yeah, but my fans are really connecting on the Telegram, so they are posting, oh, I got these pieces, and then I got another pieces. Yeah, it's just interesting to see them connecting to each other in the real world.